Hey y'all. So, one of the worst things we can ever feel is betrayal by someone. Betrayal by either someone we loved or someone who we thought loved us, which is maybe even worse. And that's a hard thing to deal with. But one thing that's interesting to me is the word betrayal. We can get that confused a lot of times when it comes to God. I'll give you a few examples. If God is all powerful, it cannot be all good. Why do bad things happen to good people? Or if God is so good, why does he allow bad things to happen? Did you know that God was betrayed? More so as say God allowed himself to be betrayed? Jesus, the Son, was betrayed by a man named Judas. And God was betrayed by the devil. Both of these individuals, he gave choices. He gave choices to them because he wants authenticity. Even this right here. Turn with me to Genesis 2:16 and 17. Again, that's Genesis 2:16 and 17. And the Lord commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you should eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For on the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. So, we see a few things here. Virtual paradise that God had created. He did give them one rule. But why? If God is all good, and if everything he made was perfect, why give them a choice anyway? Well, you see, in the gentlemen, sin wasn't in God's original plan. It never was in God's original blueprint. He cannot stand sin. He cannot be around it, for it would compromise his holy nature. One thing though, sin wasn't in God's original plan, but choice always was. We see in virtual paradise, he even gives Adam and Eve a choice. I mean, either they can follow what he said and follow his statutes, or they can choose themselves. A big part of this is because God wants authenticity. If he just wanted someone, I'm not gonna mean this kind of the way it sounds, but if he just wanted someone to worship him mindlessly and not think about it, not consider holiness or worthiness, He wouldn't have given us a choice in the first place. I mean, it was God who put the tree in the garden, who grew every tree in the garden actually. And he just said, okay, basically, you have a choice here, Adam. You can either serve me and live in paradise, live in this place I've set you in, not having to do any work, everything will be provided for you, or you can try to go your own way. You can try to, it won't work, and I'm telling you that, but you can try to go your own way. I mean, you can try to find your own way out in this world. It won't work without giving you an option. Sometimes we can feel betrayed by God, for lack of a better word. But there's a couple of things wrong with that. Well, not necessarily wrong, but a couple of things we're missing. Number one, we only see a tiny little fragment. God sees the big picture. And more importantly, kind of a subcategory, is with selfish people inherently, we can only see the individual and a lot of times we can only see our own individual needs, and it's hard for us to look outside of ourselves. But God sees generation after generation after generation after generation. And He loves and cares for every one of them. Your pain and your suffering and this sense of betrayal that you feel, God is working all things out for you. I'm sure Adam and Eve felt more than the ill betrayed when they were thrown out of the garden. But God gave them choice. And ultimately, that choice led to Christ. That choice led to the ultimate salvation for us, the ultimate authenticity, the ultimate sacrifice. The difference is, I've been talking about betrayal today. But the truth is, God never betrayed you. It could seem like it sometimes, but don't confuse betrayal for the choice God's given you and the authenticity He wants. But I want to say this one more time. Even though God gives you choice, He wants you to choose Him. He desires you to choose Him. 'Cause choosing Him every day and every time is one of the best decisions I've made. And you may not be ready for that. That's okay. God will wait for as long as your life yet. But I know a lot of people felt betrayed by God. But God never betrayed you. God is right there. He is cheering you on. He gave you the choice, but He's cheering you to make the right choice. To make the right choice, to make the God choice. Guys, I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you next week.